In a beautiful town, where whispers of women carried more weight than the wind, lived a woman named Adunni. Adunni was a kind of quiet woman that made people lean in. She wasn't born in the city where she now lived. She got married into it, a transitioning place where modern houses stood beside bungalows with satellite dishes. The town was neither a village nor a city. She had come with dreams, stitched carefully like the clothes she made. Her tailoring shop, Ife Stitches, sat across the roadside. Customers came from far and near for her skilled hands, but more for her gentle nature. She laughed with ease, gave discounts without asking, and remembered people's children by name. But behind the smile, there was pain. Adunni had been married for 10 years. 10 long years. 10 years of trying. 10 years of hoping. 10 years of praying, visiting hospital. 10 years of drinking herbal mixtures that tasted like sorrow. 10 years of going for vigils where hands pressed heavily on her stomach in the name of deliverance. Yet nothing, no child, no pregnancy, not even a false alarm. At first, Kunle, her husband, was supportive. They went to the fertility clinic together, hands clasped. When the doctor gently broke the news that Kunle had a condition, Azoospermia, Adunni looked at her husband, not with judgment, but with love. "I'm here," she whispered to him, holding his hand in silence. She kept his secret. It wasn't hers to tell. And in their culture, a man's pride was something louder than truth. But as the years passed, the warmth in Kunle's eyes faded. His mother, a stern woman with lips always pursed, began to visit more often. "You are still here, looking at this barren woman?" she would say. "Are you waiting for menopause to carry her away first?" At first, Kunle defended her. Then he stopped. The visits turned to conversations. The conversations turned to demands. And one day, Kunle came back and said what she feared. "My mother thinks I should take a second wife." Adunni blinked. "What do you think?" He didn't answer. She didn't cry that night. Instead, she cooked his food, served it hot, and went to bed. The next month, he married a younger girl named Keji. She was 24, lively and eager to please. Adunni didn't fight. She smiled at the wedding, wore the same white lace as the bride's mother, and returned home in silence. 6 months later, Keji was pregnant. The town exploded in whispers. Gifts started pouring in. So it was Adunni's fault after all. A whole 10 years of wasting a man's life. She tied her wound with pride. She's not even crying. Maybe she's a witch. Adunni had it all. In the market. She had it in the church. Even in her shop. But she said nothing. Only her pillow knew her tears. Only the moon saw how she crawled into herself at night. Then one day, fate opened its mouth wide. The baby was born prematurely, tiny and beautiful, but the baby began to fall ill repeatedly. Doctors ran tests, then came the quiet knock on their door. "DNA test results are out," Kunle said. Adunni watched him tremble as he read the paper. His hands shook like yam leaves in the rain. The child wasn't his. Silence spread through the house like smoke. Keji screamed, fell to her knees, swore it was a mistake, a one-time thing that she didn't know. But it was too late. Kunle's words shattered. The gossip reversed itself overnight. So it was Kunle that had the problem all along. Adunni suffered though. So she covered his shame for all these years. One by one, people came to her shop, not to sew clothes, but to apologize. Old women, church sisters, even her mother-in-law. Adunni looked at each one of them with the same soft eyes. "I forgive you," she said. not because they deserved it, but because she deserved peace. She packed her things one morning, quietly. She left the town without a fuss. No farewell, no drama, just the sound of her suitcase wheels rolling on the road. She moved to a nearby town where no one knew her name. There, she started again. A new tailoring shop, a fresh community, fewer whispers, more peace. She built her life like she sewed dresses, stitch by stitch, slowly, lovingly. She met a man again, a gentle doctor who had been kind to her during one of her fertility visits years ago. His name was Dr. Femi. They reconnected. He had never married. He didn't care about the past, only the future. Together, they started adoption proceedings, and one day, Adunni cradled not one but two twin girls in her arms. She named them Anjola and Araoluwa, God's grace and God's wonder. The town didn't call her barren anymore. They called her Mama Ejima, Mama Twins. But she didn't care for titles. She had long stopped seeking validation from mouths that only knew how to chew people up. One Sunday afternoon, years later, a young girl came into her shop for apprenticeship. "My name is Keji," she said nervously. Adunni looked up, her face unreadable. The girl dropped her gaze. "I'm not here to beg. She paused. "I heard you started again, and I want to learn. I want to be strong like you." Adunni smiled softly and pointed to the sewing machine in the corner. "Sit," she said, "because even pain deserves purpose. Even betrayal can be recycled into beauty." To every woman who has ever been called less than because of a delay in childbirth, to every woman waiting in prayer, every heart quietly breaking behind a brave smile, you are not barren, you are not broken, you are not forgotten. This waiting season does not define you. It strengthens you and prepares you for miracles far beyond your imagination. Whether your journey leads to conception, adoption, remember this: you are a life giver. You carry love, grace, and resilience that the world desperately needs. And like Adunni, your story isn't over. It's still unfolding beautifully, powerfully, and right on time. Keep hope alive. Your miracle may not arrive the way the world expects, but it will come. And when it does, it will be so tender, so breathtaking, that you'll finally understand why the wait was necessary. Remember, you are seen, you are loved, and you are enough. The moral lessons of this story is that you never truly know someone's burden until you walk into them. Another moral lesson is what people say about you does not define your truth. Covering people's shame is not weakness. It's strength most people will never understand. Barren is not just about the womb. Sometimes hearts are barren of kindness. Another moral lesson is redemption doesn't always come with revenge. Sometimes it comes with rebirth. They called Adunni barren because she could not give birth. But Adunni was never empty. She was full of patience. She was full of grace and full of the love the world didn't understand. And when the time was right, she gave life, not just to children, but to stories that heal, to girls that needed guidance, and to hearts that were broken. Thank you so much for watching this story. If you enjoy my story, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more lessons and stories that will keep you